music was super, super important to me from a very early age. I've been realizing this lately. As early as I can remember, I was always thinking about music.
Okay.
I was singing made up melodies to myself when I was a kid walking to school. I grew up in
Okay.
a small town in Nova Scotia, so when I was 6, I was allowed to walk to school on my own.
Right.
Which is, I think about my 6-year-old nephew who lives in the city, and I'm like, no, you can't go anywhere by yourself. But like, and I remember like making up melodies. I remember singing one, like walking with my brother one day, and like this like melody I was working on in my head for a week. I like sang. He's like, "Oh, that's cool. Where'd you hear that?" I'm like, "Made it up." And like, and here's the thing. I'm not a songwriter. My brother is a brilliant songwriter.
Okay.
But like, I just think about
Was there music in
music.
your house?
My dad was in a Christian like rock band from Newfoundland called Psalm 150, which is the psalm about music.
Right.
That we were like we kind of knew about, and my dad like had a guitar around.
But it wasn't an
There's a
active thing.
guitar out there. If we walk around the studio later, there's a 1985 PVT-25, which is a really great American-made PV that my dad had around the house when I was a kid.
Okay.
That like I kind of learned to strum on. Um,
But it
again,
wasn't like a daily sort of like you saw dad practicing that it
no, not at all. My brother played piano, like conservatory piano, and I and then I started on drums, and we kind of learned. My brother was playing guitar by the time I was a little older and playing drums better, and we kind of learned to play by jamming with each other. And then again, we both were like in on the worship team at
Right.
church, and like played constantly. Yeah, so music was always really big for me, and like I've always been really close with my brother, and we always played together. Um, and then yeah, and like I was in bands. I had like a high school band and stuff, and then my first real band was with my brother. I was still, I think, when it's called Yellowwood. We were a Windsor
Oh
band.
shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Minor details. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so my brother and I did that. There was a rotating cast of people. The longest term memories were like Ryan Fields, who's still like a brother to me, and my Adam and I, my brother and I, were kind of the core of it. And
Did Yellow did was and I always get weirded out with Windsor bands because my perspective is so weird. I'm not sure because I have no real connection to Canadian music otherwise. Was Yellowwood a Windsor band or was Yellowwood a touring band? Because Yellowwood's a name that I know, so I never know which direction it's from.
mildly touring, mostly a Windsor band.
Okay.
I'm not going to oversell it. We did some tours. We went to the East Coast a couple times. We would play around Ontario a lot. We come to Toronto a lot.
Right.
We had people that would come up to see us in other towns.
Right.
But
Like
we
radio
weren't-
play, that kind of stuff, or was it just it was
No, college
okay.
radio play. We
Gotcha.
did some, like
Okay.
we would chart on. I think we charted on Earshot. Don't quote me on that. But like we did some radio pushes for like college radio and stuff. But no mainstream success.
Were you doing engineering stuff?
So that's where I fell in love with it. Yeah. My brother and we would take any money for the band made and just put it into gear to record ourselves and like more instruments and stuff.
Right.
And then we kind of taught ourselves. And I realized later I started producing because I'm not a songwriter. All the songs, lyrics, and chords were my brother. And then I would obviously play drums and then whatever else, and we'd collaborate on the rest of the instruments depending who was in the band at the time. Sometimes we'd have like a steady lead guitarist like Stephen Gibb or Kyle Marchand was in for a long time, and like they would have parts that they'd written and stuff, but then a lot of times it'd just be the two of us recording and writing. So I fell in love with the process there of making records, and we built we had a little house and we had a basement that we like turned into our studio, and I fell in love with the process then, and like learning how to produce by like producing my brother. He was the songwriter, and like that the kind of psychiatry element to being a producer, listening to somebody, knowing when to push them off of a thing they're obsessing over, or knowing when to like let them obsess over something,
That's interesting.
and like helping guide somebody. Like that's what I do as like producing's like my biggest hat that I like to wear, and the thing I enjoy doing the most, and that's like shepherding a process.
Gotcha.
And that's a weird mixed metaphor, but yeah, like being there and just helping somebody realize the thing that they're trying to do.
Right.
it's hard to talk about. Like it's so amorphous and so in the moment. But like it started.
Does it get to a point where you even start questioning yourself, like if it's a thing that like if it's a skill you have, or it's just like the nonsense you tell yourself sometimes? Sure. Like, have you had that sort of like existential crisis?
Listen, I'm not going to say I don't have existential crises. They're frequent and regular, but not about that.
Not that one.
It's a skill I have. This is the thing I know how to do.
Right.
Yeah. But everything else I'm not sure about.
Don't forget, you can subscribe to our full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find your audio podcasts. The full episodes, highlights, and our live off-the-floor performance videos can be found at our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the AVB Podcast. Of course, you'll find links to our incredible sponsors and this week's guest in the description below. The AVB Podcast is part of the Border City Network. Find more great content at bordercitynetwork.com. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.